I know one of your other missions is too to make sure people understand the medicinal qualities. I know in the show you talked a lot about your brother, the great John Belushi. You know, he was only 33 years old and he died of a drug overdose. And we think about the way drugs were treated in the 80s versus the way we see addiction now. And do you think that if your brother had the room and the space to maybe be looked upon as someone who had an illness, versus someone who was just an addict who had to hide it, do you think he'd be alive today?
Well, Danny Aykroyd, he's the one that said it to me last summer. He said, you know, Jimmy, if Johnny was a pothead, he'd be alive today. And I really believe my brother suffered from CTE from playing football. He was a middle linebacker, a star. He was a star. He was all-state, all-conference, had the most tackles that anybody ever had in that school. And when you got your bell rung back then, they go, what's the matter, Belushi? You got your bell rung? Get back in there.
Yeah.
My brother seizured in front of me in the kitchen. Actually, and I think about it, I saved his damn life because he had swallowed his tongue. And I know that came from those concussions after concussion. And I think when he got older, you know, drugs became his medicine.
Yeah.
You know, and if he would have just stayed with pot, but then pot was grouped into, you know, Schedule 1, LSD, cocaine, heroin. So it was all one to him. And now we know it's not. We're separate. Cannabis is separate from that. This is municipal. It's, you know, it helps you get along with the wife. It's beautiful stuff.
Beautiful stuff. There's a really great scene in the show where you're flying over the poppy fields of Colombia. And I really love this part, Jim. I thought it was a really poignant part. And I hope people, when they watch it with a really close eye. Because at first you're watching, you're like, I wanted to fly over, you know, to see these beautiful green fields. And I wanted to kind of connect with my brother. And then you said that you feel like, wow, what if we could take away the death, which is heroin, right? Or the cocaine fields, what have you. What if we could take those away and replant that with marijuana so that these farmers could still make a great living, but they would be doing no harm, or, you know, the product that they put out would do no harm.
We would be healing people instead of hurting families.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that cocaine fields, I mean, Pablo Escobar killed 100,000 people. Can you imagine what happened? Not only they're gone, but the families, the reverberation of that kind of tragedy goes for 5 generations in a family.
Yeah.
And then not only that, how about all the people that died in the United States, including my own brother?
Yeah.
From those cocoa fields, you know?
Yeah.